Okay, hey guys, so it's been a very long time since I last did a review, and that's sort of because I got a little bit busy with life, so apologize for that. I did promise to come back after trying out the Xiaomi Headphones for a while, so here I am, and I'm just not gonna waste time and just jump straight into the different points that everyone is talking about and asking about. I don't really have a lot of other headphones, so I can't really do a comparison, so sorry about that. But I am going to give you a rough idea of how things sound like and all that different kind of things and shit. So first things first, let's go straight into what everyone is concerned about, and that is the sound quality. Basically this is surprisingly very good. For 120 Sing dollars, you get very excellent sound quality. And when I say sound quality, let's go into the individual areas. You got the bass, you got the mid tones, and then the high frequency, maybe the trebles and shit like that. So this being a semi-open headphone, this is definitely not gonna give you the bass that you are looking for. If let's say if you are used to wearing like I don't know, Dre Beats or any of the other closed back headphones. This is made for clarity, and when I say clarity, it refers to stuff like, let's say, even the slightest tone or slightest sound in the background and you hear it, that is something that you will hear. If they're recording an audio thing and in the other room someone farts, chances are you might hear that too. So you have to really have a good headphone that's able to provide that kind of clarity, that kind of separation to be able to hear it. I'll just throw some examples of tracks on the side, and you can maybe go there and listen to it yourself. I don't know if YouTube has the best quality, but these are songs whereby I picked out really interesting nuances in the background, and if you wanna see if your headphone or your earphone is good enough for that, that's a pretty good thing to go to. So it's really very clear sound. Can't really complain. This reminds me of the time when I had a JVC HD in-ear earphones, which I lost subsequently in the office somewhere. But yeah, it's great. It provides all the different pin drop audio that anyone has done, and it helps you to appreciate a lot of it helps you to appreciate the kind of work that music producers put into when they create their music. It's not just especially the ones who do like electronic music and all that stuff, or even hip-hop or instrumental hip-hop. There's always that little beat or a little clank or a little pop in the background that they make just so that everything adds up a little bit better. If you're using like shitty earphones or shitty headphones, chances are you might not even hear that kind of thing. So yeah, it's great. Okay, one thing to note, if you're using the small on-ear cups, the sound somewhat differs in quality as opposed to using an over-ear cup. So how does this differ? Essentially, it still sounds similar. The only difference is that when you use something like this, it somehow expands the sound space in the sense that it feels wider and not so much in your ear. So it's great. I use it a lot. I actually prefer using this when I'm gaming, which is pretty much the main reason why I bought the headphones in the first place. Is to enjoy good music, but at the same time I found that open back earphones tend to give a better sound space, and it helps a lot, especially if you're doing a lot of first person gaming and stuff like that, as it also helps to shape the environment around you when you're playing, especially in the first person game. I've been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto, and it helps when I'm playing in first person and I can hear what's going on in the background, and it helps so much to get into the experience. I mean, I don't have an Oculus Rift, but if I had it and I paired it with this, I'm pretty sure it would be pretty awesome. So yeah, audio quality wise, aside from clarity, if you're talking about the range of the audio, I do notice that there are times when you're reaching the super extreme end of the audio frequency spectrum, that you get a bit of distortion in it. I'll point not so much in the low end. I haven't really heard any problems or distortions when I'm playing really low or bassy tracks, but I do hear I do get a bit of problem when I'm listening to tracks on the higher frequency, things that hit a high note or a very high pitch or at a certain volume. It does get a little jarring. It has a jarring quality to it, in the sense that it's sort of like someone with a really high pitched voice screaming right next to your ear. Sometimes, I don't know, maybe I'm sensitive to that kind of stuff, but it gets me it makes me feel like lowering the volume or putting it away just so that I don't hear it. But I realized that this, if you burn it for long enough, it sort of reduces that problem. In fact, I've been burning the wires for about 4 days now, and it seems to have gone away on the tracks that I used to have issues with. Again, refer to the links over there if you want to have a listen. So yeah, this is a great headphone with great sound, but you have to invest not just a little bit of money, but at the same time a little bit of time just to warm up the wires, burn in. If you don't believe in burning in, this is a great example of why you need to burn in your wires. If you don't know what burning in is, go to Wikipedia and it's pretty much all there. So yeah, if you need examples of how to burn in your headphones, I found that the easiest way would be to actually download a burn-in application on Google Play Store or iOS Store if you have an Apple phone, and just leave it on overnight for as long as possible, and then that pretty much burns in. Okay, that's that for sound quality. Let's move on to comfort and build. Essentially, this is extremely comfortable. The only time, the general construction is great. Just point out a few different things just to go through the build itself. Okay, so it's genuine. I actually have no idea if it's genuine leather or not, but it feels really smooth, very nice. Can't really smell right now, so I can't tell. Stitching is done very well. Good job in this case, and it's very comfortable. The little pad, the leather cups over here on both the over and the on-ear cups, they cushion very well, to the point that you don't feel much after a while. It's quite easy to forget that you have this pressing onto your ears after a while. So comfort wise, brilliant, very good. The metal itself, I wouldn't say it's very scratchy, but I do notice that there is a certain degree of I don't know, dirt pickup, I guess. I'm not too sure what it is, but that's essentially something that I noticed. But that's it. I do have a habit of not putting the headphones in a pouch or whatsoever, so that might be my own fault itself. Aside from it, cables are really nice, very well protected, I guess. It's very little ruggedness to it. However, that said, whatever is protecting the wires from snapping is also an issue that's bugging me a little bit. Cosmetically, it's not so much a functional issue, and it's the fact that because they were reinforcing the wires with a what do you call that, the fret braiding thing, it does show certain signs of wear and tear over over frequent use. And if you look closely over here, I'll probably punch in with a different footage right now. It's the fact that you can see all these little whiskers coming out of the threading, and that's part of where it's coming loose. It looks a little bit like pubic hair, I guess, but that, when you look closely at it, it irritates you, especially for the OCD guys. But that's pretty much it. That's it. Another good point, back to the good point, I guess. So another point that I really like about the headphone and the construct is that they added a little spring mechanism onto the end of the cable, and that prevents the #1 cause of headphone and earphone damage, and that is wires snapping right at where the jack is. So this prevents your cable from over angling itself, I guess, and whenever you push it to a certain degree, the spring will force it back straight up. At the very least, the very end connection between the cable and the jack itself is kept straight and upright. So that's a good touch. I really like that one point. If I were using anything else, chances are most of the time I would have to keep the metal wire and then make a makeshift version of this itself. So that's a great added advantage to it. Okay, now that we've covered the two most important things, sound and comfort and build, we'll move on to a little bit more superficial things, and I'm talking about using the headphone as a fashion accessory. You might be laughing, but I mean, if you're buying headphones, and with how modern society is right now, chances are people use headphones as a fashion accessory more often than just, oh, because I want to listen to good music, you know, blah blah blah. The truth is, you're buying a headphone just because you want to look good and you want people to think that you appreciate music and shit like that. At the same time, you want to look good. More importantly, you want to look good. So, I've tried the headphone and I don't know, that's it, I'm color deficient, I might be wrong. But I noticed that the headphone is very easily pairable with almost any other clothes that I have. Formal wear, t-shirt, singlets, even not wearing anything, I guess, but I don't think you'll be walking around without wearing anything, right? So headphone is perfect for wearing as a fashion accessory. The only thing I don't like is the fact that this cable is way too long. It looks like you have something dangling out of the way, but that also presents itself as an issue, because when it's way too long and you leave it around the neck, let's say if you're not listening to music anymore and you're leaving it around the neck, it becomes a small issue because the cable becomes too long and you have you run into the risk of possibly tripping or hooking onto the thing with your own knee, and that damages the cable because it's constant tugging and all that shit, right? So yes, there is such a thing as too long. I know what you're thinking, but yes, the cable is too long. Okay, so in conclusion, out of 10, I would say this headphone is a very strong 8. It might not be able to give you the super sound quality that you get from the $200 and $300 range, but hey, it's $120. It's probably the most value for money headphone that I can think of. Even comparing with my old fully open back headphones, this sound is on par, if not better, in terms of clarity. It might need a bit of work on the high frequency range, but I'm pretty sure that gets better with more use, as seen with my experiments with burning in the wire. But yeah, that's about it. 8 out of 10, $120. Okay, the good thing about this is that unlike most of the Mi phones, you can get this anytime off the net, which is great. You can just add the buy now and then it'll ship over. Because this is an accessory and not a phone, they don't really have to worry about quantity, I guess. But yeah, it's great. Just go on to the link. I'll just put somewhere, is either here or here. I haven't planned that shit yet. Click on the link, head over to me.com/sg and make your purchase. It's only 119 Sing dollars, which is about 120. Shipping is free if you're shipping it locally, I guess, because your purchase is already over $50. So buy it now, they'll ship it. Shipping is really fast. I got mine within like 3 days after the Mi sale. So that's about it. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask me. I'll try my best to answer them, or if need be, I'll do a follow-up video just to talk about that one point if I feel that it is a massive point that I need to talk about. Let's see. Anything else? Nothing else. That's it. Bye bye.